Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. So I made some rounds to the nurseries yesterday. That may be, if not my favorite, it's definitely one of my favorite, is to go and see all the pretty flowers that they're selling at the nurseries. And so I'm going to fill up some of my empty pots. I'm not sure how many pots I'm going to keep this year because, like I told you, I am definitely trying to cut back. So we'll see how that will go. But I wanted to show you. I've stopped first at Horse Creek, and I got this beautiful little licorice plant. And I found some moss. I was looking for seeds, but I never did find seeds. But that's okay. I'll put these down. And next spring, they will put their own seed down and just come right back. That's what I'm thinking. And I found the redhead coleus that I always love in the garden. I mean, after all, red in the garden is just practically a necessity for me. I know some people don't want red in their gardens, but that's not me. I like color, lots of color. But then I went on to, let's go over here because I went to Sunshine Nursery in just outside of Clinton, and I found this is a silver lace vine, and but the color of it is a golden yellow instead of a green. I think that'll be beautiful all the time, and then especially when it blooms. Looky, it's trying to get away, and it does this, so I'll have to be careful with it. It's kind of like a honeysuckle from what I hear. I've never actually owned one till now, but I hear that you need to keep it going up because if it gets down on the ground, it will, of course, put its little root down and make roots all the way down this stem and just keep going and going and coming up from there, and just it can get to be a mess. I've heard. I do not want that. I'm trying to get away from that kind of stuff, but I have honeysuckle, and I figured out to put like fencing stake around it and then put the plastic fencing around it so it gets plenty of air, plenty of water, and yet it doesn't have a tendency. Every now and then you'll have to keep an eye on it because every now and then one will escape. But for the most part, they just stay right in there. As long as you can get them going upward, they just keep going toward the sun, and they don't get that invasive at all. Now this is Santalina. I've been wanting this since I lost my other one. Have you seen those little blocks like Lego blocks, only they have all these? Look at this. It's just like God decided to make Lego block pattern in this Santalina, and it's the pretty blue cast green color that I love, and I'm so excited to get this back into my garden. And when I walked up the aisle that they had these in at Sunshine, and I didn't see any, so the young man that worked there asked me if I needed any help, and I told him, well, do you have any Santalina? I don't think you do, but he said, well, I think we might. And so we went by that, and I found this tiny little scraggly one that was nowhere near the size of this, and I said, oh, I got so excited. I'm like, I found one. I can get it back in the garden again. And he said, let me take that one, and I think I have a bigger one. So he did. He had this one. Isn't this beautiful? It's already big and beautiful, and I'm so excited. That started my day off right from the beginning. So I found several plants that I wanted, and this was also from Sunshine, this orange barberry, and it's the pencil type that doesn't grow wide but just grows tall. And so it's, any more color in the garden, and I love it if it's color. So, and then I went on to, let's see if I can get this right, to Atwoods is where I went next. I love Atwoods because many times they will have the perennials that nurseries don't always sell. I did not find any perennials this time, but it's okay because I found Well, I found these tomatoes. They don't look real great. It looks like they spent the nights out when we had that cold weather, but they don't look bad. And you know, I'm not good with tomatoes anyway, so I had to have a battery change. Excuse me. But I was saying, we'll see what I can do with these tomatoes. So I found, of course, the little tiny tomatoes. I can't think what they're even called, that miniature. No, that's not what they're called. And I found a chocolate cherry. All I can think of now is the name my husband calls them, which is Tommy Toes. But the small little tomatoes. And then this one, it says extra early. So that was, I thought maybe I'll try that, because my tomatoes don't come on usually until frost comes, so that's not good. But I'm going to try that one. And then I also found this one, the world's largest tomato. And I laugh because I think I tried this once before, and my tomato was about the same size, maybe slightly bigger than the little tomatoes. So, but anyway, I like to try, because you never know when it's your time. Maybe I'll have tomatoes. So after we went there, I also found this little double calibrachoa. Isn't that pretty? And then I can't remember if I found some of the Angelonia too, but I'm not sure if I got those there or if I went on to Sutherland's, I know, and I got some of these plants there. So I got several. I'm excited to get them in the ground or in pots. Most of these will go in pots. So, and then today also what I need to do is these are looking so scraggly, and some of them have died. But I always think, you know, if you just can save a few of them, and even though they do look terrible, and they will continue to look terrible for a while, but some of them, God willing, and I think they almost always do, come out of it, get healthy and beautiful, and you cannot tell these little scraggly ones from these down here that have been pampered and taken care of, because I plan on doing a little bit of pampering and taking care of these myself. Also, I purchased this little sedum. It's called Yellow Star sedum, and it has a bloom smaller and yet a whole lot like all these that I've been using. And these are called sedums. I had been calling them that, and then someone else had a different name for them. So, but I asked the young man at Sunshine Nursery, and he said they are called sedum. In just a minute, and I'll tell you what he said the name of these sedum are. He said it is, let's see if I can, the Spectacula Live Forever is what he called those, and they're wonderful. They just, I told him that I got a small one of these once, and I've just been putting little pieces of it in many places, and that's what I filled up a lot of my empty spots that were empty before them with, and they just keep going and going, and sometimes they even come back. Usually they do actually come back after spending a winter out. Now these, I usually do have to replace them, because you can see how small that is and how they don't get water because they're under the eave of the house. So they don't always make it through the winter. They rarely make it through the winter. But in all the other slightly bigger pots, they do make it right through the winter. I'm on my way back here to show you the other sedum he told me the name of. But I'm seeing another, of course you've probably already seen this one, but there's a new bloom today. But I wanted to tell you that this tiny little sedum that just took off and filled this pot up is called Alba. Sedum Alba. And another new iris bloom for today. A couple of them there. And I'm going to stop here and dig up one of these pretty brownish color, and yellow and white in there too, but one of these irises for my granddaughter. And while I'm at it, this is my honeysuckle. It's growing in with a rose. I think you can see a little bit of the rose back there too. But what I wanted to show you is that I put up these fence stakes around it, and then I just put that plastic fencing all around that, and you can tell that the vine part of the honeysuckle wants to go upward toward the sun, so it has way less tendency to drop down, come between those little places in the plastic fencing and find a way to drop down and get on the ground and become invasive. It can do it, but it's rare that it does it. It usually stays contained right in there just pretty well. I'm also dividing this little hosta, and I'm going to give my daughter a piece of this, and if I can get enough of it, I'm going to put some in the that pot at the very end. This one right here, and I put some of it right here in this little pot. I'm still trying to get them where they'll come back next year without me having to replant, but I also left room here because I will want some impatiens in here, I'm pretty sure. I love the impatiens. I'm going to try to look at Ace and see. Our local Ace has good plants, and I like the little they have a 4-pack, and Walmart sometimes has a 6-pack, so I always look there too and see what they had. I've got a lot of my plants there that I really have really enjoyed, so that's the plan. I wanted to show you that this little peony did open all the way up, and it's looking so pretty. And the peonies over on this side, I think this word is called island coral, something coral, are opened up very pretty today too. So I'm having to give up for the day. I'm hurting, but I know it doesn't look like I got anything done. It really doesn't, but these little pots that were here are now empty, and most of these are they just didn't make it. So that may be another thing I need to stop doing, is trying to save them through the winter. But I did get a few, and I still don't know if they'll all come up and go, but I'll definitely see if they will. I would hate to miss out on these little plants. And I did put several in different places. This is a dragon wing begonia. It's not looking good now, and it may not come right out of it, but I hope it will. I think it will. I put some of my new star sedum in these tiny little pots here, and then I also put the biggest part of it in a pot in the back along the west fence. And here is some more of those little scraggly window plants, but they could be gorgeous. And this is a Mexican flame vine, so tiny right now, and the bigger part of it there didn't live. I don't know if this will come out of it or if I'll have to clip it off, but I know this little green has a good chance, so I'm going to try to give it that chance to live. And I also put some sedums in some of these little pots so that I don't have to fill them up every year. They should probably come back. And I did put one of my pretty new, this is wet now so it's not standing out like it was earlier, but it's very pretty and it will stand back out. But it needs to be wet today so it can help it with its transplant. These I did not get done, of course, but I'm going to wait and probably put impatiens in these little pots. There's another place where I put some of the coleus. So anyway, here's another couple of the coleus. And I'll plant something smaller there in front of it. Something that would hang over would be pretty, but I'm not sure what I'll put there yet. I may just plant some petunia seeds there. But I know some of these little scraggly ones, I thought about not even trying this one, but it had a good root that had grown in the window. So I will see. Some of this little tiny green may help it to go ahead and live and become a very pretty little coleus. And then there's a couple here. This is the Alabama Sunset coleus, and I definitely hope it will live for me. So anyway, I'm wore totally out. My back is hurting from just bending over and up and down. Oh, and I put the earth sign right here on either side of this little girl. I wanted it to be, this is shaded by the eave of the house, and I wanted it to have some shade so that it can be the deeper, darker color that I like the most. And I did put some of my little sedum in this pot and in this pot. And I think it will just fill it totally up and look great before too awfully long. And this is one of my new coleus. This is the chocolate covered cherry coleus. I really like it, and I hope it does well here. This is one that I found on my excursions yesterday when we were out looking at the new nursery plants. And this little spot is coming along. I still lack some at the other end of this little cherub. Let's see if I can focus on her right there. And I need that end of pots because this end I do have a row of pots on, and I still need to fill some of these up. But I'm happy with the hostas, and I've got the top layer off of them, except for the ones that just have a little decor on it. I may leave those, I may not, we'll see. I like them there. I'll probably leave those there. Plus I'm tired of rearranging, and I still have a lot of other rearranging to do. But we'll see how it goes. Do you ever do that? Not for sure know what you want to do until you get out there and start doing it. So, but these sedum are looking great. And that was something I did years ago. I decided I'm not going to put little plants in these because they're just not deep enough to keep watered and keep looking good. So I put these in there, and they look good all the time. Almost all the time they do. Occasionally they won't come back after a hard winter because they just don't have enough depth to protect them. But most of the time they do come back. And as I've told you, I've got some in the ground, which has always come back for me. So I'll just take little clippings from them if I need to get those started. But the hostas are looking good, and I'm proud of them. Okay, not all of them are looking good. Some of the ones I tried to transplant, I didn't get enough root on, but we'll see if it will make it. It could, or if it doesn't, I won't be that surprised either. My little coleus from the window, just the little starts, are doing good. We got a good rain last night, a ½ inch, and so things are looking good right now. Looking promising. And last night I found my blue flax seed. I knew I was pretty sure I had some, and I did. So I've planted this in the back in that strawberry pyramid. I'll go back there so you can see. So here is my strawberry pyramid, and those blue flax is what I planted in this little top layer right here. And then all around it, that second little circle, I planted yellow marigolds because I think the blue and yellow will look great together. And then I planted on this bottom layer, I actually planted 3 packets of forget-me-not. So if they come up and that all would bloom at the same time, it would be so pretty. So I'm hopeful that it will do that, and if not, I'll think of something else next year. But if that works, I may just leave it like that every year for a while. It sounds so pretty. We'll see if it turns out to be. You know, some of the things we think are going to be gorgeous just don't quite get it, and then others that we just throw together with the leftovers that we didn't get in another pot that we had planned. Sometimes they turn out to be the prettiest of all and start a whole new combination for us. This lovely little atoh, A-T-O-H plant, peony, is blooming today. And this one that just had the wand bud has now got the wand bloom, but it is so pretty. I may see if I can snip that off and take it to my mother for her birthday. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, Mama. If I don't get to see you today, I'll see you Sunday. I love the rain when it brings out all the pretty flowers. It just encourages them so much to come on out and up and look beautiful. And this is the yellow baptisia, also called false indigo. So if it's blooming here, I'm pretty sure my white is blooming too over on the fence. We'll go over there and take a quick look. And on the way I had to stop here because the clematis is looking gorgeous. And my blue, this is called blue, it's more of a lavender blue, and but it's blooming prettily, and it's loving that rain too. And here is my white baptisia or false indigo. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.